Well, you've been planning for your own financial future, but what about your child? Welcome, Rao Garuda, the president and CEO of the Associated Concepts Agency. I feel like you're about to tell me all the things I should have been doing a long time ago.
Well, Natalie, it's never too late.
That's always good.
Yeah,
I like to hear that. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
So, starting with when the kids are really young, what should parents, grandparents be doing?
Well, the first and foremost thing is, people ask me about financial planning. I tell them about financial discipline.
Okay.
First you have to save first and then spend whatever is left over. But most people do exact opposite. So the first thing that the parents should be doing is, if you're buying toys for the children, for instance.
Which everybody does.
Which everybody does. And instead of spending all that money, maybe take half of that money and put that in the investments. If you do that, the money becomes a large amount of money. I'm very fond of this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, if you're 25 and if you can put in $100 a month, just $100 a month, okay, it'll be $500,000 when you're 65.
Wow.
Okay, in the markets, yeah. So people should be doing that, but they don't do that. And that's really where the problem is. The power of compounding is unbelievable.
Where should you want to be at that age? How much should you, to live comfortably when you get to that retirement age, where should you want to be as far as what you've saved?
Well, the first question is, how much do you need to retire? How much do you need to have a nice lifestyle, right? So I call them paychecks. When you stop working, there are no more paychecks, right? So your investment should be producing paychecks. And if you have enough in the term of pension or Social Security, then you need paychecks. Because when you retire, every day is a Saturday, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Saturday is the day you spend most money, right? So that's where the challenge is.
So what's this idea about birthday boosters?
Birthday boosters. When you have a birthday, a lot of people give you gifts, right? So if you take half of that money that's given to you in gifts and put that away in a fund, or investments, that becomes a huge amount of money. I'll give you a small example. I had a client that gave me $8,000 and forgot that he gave me $8,000.
Oh,
okay?
That would be nice. You want to forget you gave someone $8,000, okay?
Right. After 15 years, he calls me up. He says, hey, by the way, I think I gave you some money. Is that still there? I said, yeah. In fact, you have $64,000. Wow. So he said, oh my God, how did that happen? And then he started calling all his friends and said, hey, pull out your checkbooks, give all your money to Rao.
For good reason. For good reason.
Right.
So for the older ones, there's like a 10% rule. I guess that's when kids get to what age?
Well, the 10% is always a very good rule to use, but you should really go beyond that. If you go to Asia, if you go to China, India, many of those countries, they save as much as 20 to 50% of their take-home pay. And that's a discipline. It takes time to get there, but you got to start when you're really young. That's the process of budgeting. You have to have a budget first, and then you know where your money is going. People, no matter how much money they make, they always ask me, where did my money go?
Oh, yeah. So what should parents and grandparents or, caregivers, what should they be telling their young ones now?
Well, discipline. Start saving first, and then spend only what's left over. That's rule number one. Rule number two is grandparents can do what's called a Roth conversion, Roth IRA conversion. And if you do a Roth IRA conversion, every dollar that you leave in the Roth becomes like $10 to $15.
Wow.
That's a huge amount. See, if your grandfather left you $100,000, for instance, that will be more than $1 million for you, tax-free.
Wow.
For the rest of your life.
Those Roth funds.
Yeah.
So my great aunt always pounds that in my head.
Yes,
she's right.
Absolutely correct.
And it's good to have a written budget in a sense.
It is. And I tell grandparents, grandparents and grandchildren have a common enemy. Who is that? That's the father, right?
Yeah, the middle.
Right. So there's a love affair between grandchildren and grandparents. And the greatest gift that a grandparent can leave for a grandchild is a Roth IRA. And they should start that very early in the game, because the money grows tax-free and you can withdraw it tax-free.
Well, Rao, thank you so much. They can go to your website, right, for more information?
Yes, aca.incorp.com.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm going to be talking to you after the show. You're going to help me out a little, okay?
I guarantee. Good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. David?
Bye-bye.